Good morning, grade threes. I'm Miss Connie Doris, and today I'm going to be doing my very first online lesson with you guys, and it is going to be on punctuation. Now, most of you know what punctuation is, I hope. We learned about punctuation in grade 1 and in grade 2. So today is more about revision. You don't really need anything with you for our lesson, but I do need your ears and your eyes and your attention. So let's look at what we learned last year in grade 2. So what is punctuation? So it is a collection of different symbols or marks that we use in our writing to make a sentence, to build a sentence, and to make sure that it makes sense. So it also helps us when we are reading a sentence, or if you think about when we're reading our readers, we often look at our punctuation to see when we need to pause, or when we need to stop, or when we are beginning a new sentence. So punctuation helps a reader to understand how a sentence is built and show them how it should be read. So every sentence should include at least one capital letter. Why I say at least one is because every sentence always starts with a capital letter. Then we have either a full stop, an exclamation mark, or a question mark at the end of our sentence. So punctuation can be found everywhere. At the beginning, at the end, but also in the middle of a sentence. So what we learned in grade 1 is our full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, and our capital letters. So a full stop, there we go, you can see our full stop over here. We always find at the end of a sentence. A question mark is exactly that. It is a mark that we put at the end of a sentence when we are asking a question. Then an exclamation mark is also always found at the end of our sentence. Sometimes it's not even a sentence. Sometimes it could be a single word, or I suppose a very short sentence. But if we were to say, wow, we know that we need to add expression because there's an exclamation mark at the end. We also have our capital letters forms part of punctuation, and we know that that always goes at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, grade 3. So what we're going to be doing today as well is I'm going to be introducing the comma to you. Now, some of you might know what a comma is, and I really hope you do, but if you don't, that's okay. We use a comma in our sentences. It's never at the beginning and it's never at the end of a sentence. It's always in the middle of a sentence, and it tells us that we need to pause while we are reading. Again, that adds expression to what it is that we're reading, and it helps us to list things. So it separates items on a list. We'll do an example of this a little bit later. So here in our bottom right corner, that is what a comma looks like. There we go. So now, the punctuation that we know is a full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, capital letters, and those are the ones that we learned, sorry. And they all go at the end. Then we have our capital letter, which goes at the beginning of a sentence, sometimes in the middle as well. And we have our comma, which goes in the middle of our sentence. Okay, what we're going to do now is a quick exercise. I'm going to try my best to read the following text to you, and there is no punctuation in it at all. So I'm not going to know when I need to pause, when I need to stop, and it's not going to help me with any expression at all either, which makes things a bit tricky and, to be honest, a little bit boring. So let's give it a bash. Hello, boys and girls. Wow, I'm very sad that I did not get to teach you at school today. And I know that Mrs. Syed, Mrs. Spencer, and Mrs. Anthony feel the same way. We cannot wait to have you back at Craighall Primary because you bring so much happiness to our classrooms. It's a very, very long sentence, don't you think? I think what we need to do now is we need to add our punctuation. Let's see. Okay, here I have added our capital letters in blue and in bold, and our punctuation marks or symbols in red. So let's read it together. Hello, boys and girls. Wow, I'm very sad that I did not get to teach you at school today. And I know that Mrs. Syed, Mrs. Venter, and Mrs. Anthony feel the same way. We cannot wait to have you back at Craig Hall Primary because you bring happiness into our classrooms. See, sounds so much better because I know where I need to put in an expression, I know where I need to stop, and I know where I need to pause. Now remember, when you stop, you take a slight moment. When you pause, it's just a short little break, let's say. So let's go through it again. Hello, boys and girls. Stop. The capital H, the ha, is in blue because it is the beginning of a sentence. At the end of girls, we have a full stop because it's the end of a sentence. So that means the next word should have a capital letter, and that's why wow is in blue. Then our exclamation mark is in red because it is expressing a word. So it is exclaiming, expressing, wow. But now that also means that it's the end of my sentence. So I've stopped again. I am very sad that I did not get to teach you at school today. And I know that Mrs. Syed, Mrs. Venter, and Mrs. Anthony feel the same way. Now you can see when I saw the comma here behind Mrs. Syed, I slightly paused. I took a quick break, but not long enough to take a breath like we do after a full stop. I added our capital letters to I because this one, of course, is at the beginning of a sentence, but I is a proper noun, which means it is an important word. It is a name or a place or a person. So Mrs. Syed, we know that this is a person, which means this is a title. This is someone's name. Again, a title, a name, a title, and a name. And full stop. Now I know I need to carry on with a capital letter. So we cannot wait to have you back at Craig Hall Primary because you bring happiness into our classrooms. Why does Craig Hall have a capital letter? Well, that is because it is a place. Primary, those two words go together. Craig Hall Primary. So they both have capital letters because it is one place. Okay. Now, I didn't see a certain punctuation mark in this paragraph. Can you guys figure out which one I did not use? Let's see if you guys have figured it out. A question mark. So, how could I have added a question mark? I couldn't have because there were no questions inside that paragraph. So what we're going to do is I'm going to leave you guys with a little activity. I'm going to ask you a question and you guys are going to write a paragraph on a piece of paper with a pencil, and you're going to write me a short paragraph, but I need you to punctuate it the best way that you can. Then ask mom or dad or your older brother or sister or anyone to take a photograph of it and send it privately to your teacher, because I know that Mrs. Syed, Mrs. Venter, and Miss Anthony would love to hear the answers to these questions. So let's see what we have. What was the best part of your school holiday? Or you can write your paragraph on what are you most looking forward to this year? So you guys are going to write a paragraph using a pencil on a piece of paper, and you're going to write a paragraph on either what the best part of your school holiday was or what you are most looking forward to this year. Now, when you are finished writing your paragraph, what I want you to do is I want you to go over all of your capital letters using a blue twisty, and I want you to go over your punctuation marks using a red twisty, so that your teachers can see your punctuation, but also so that they can read it and understand what you're trying to say through you using your punctuation. Okay, I'm really looking forward to reading these paragraphs, and I hope that you can send them through by tomorrow, I think, Wednesday, by the end of the school day. It would be lovely to be able to read them and hear all about your holidays, or to hear about what you're looking forward to this year. All right, grade threes, that's the end of my punctuation lesson. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon, and I will be seeing you all in your reading Zoom lessons. All right, bye, grade threes.